You are listening to Confessions of a Counselor podcast. Here we will talk all things mental health in bite-sized chunks. Hello and welcome to Confessions of a Counselor. I'm your host, Janice, and in today's episode, I thought we would dive into the world of relationships, specifically focusing on the work of doctors John and Julie Gottman and their foundational principles for what makes a healthy relationship. So let's jump right in. In terms of focusing on relationships, the reason that I rely so heavily on the work that Dr. John and Julie Gottman have done is that they really took this new approach to focusing on relationships, in that instead of focusing on what isn't making a relationship work, they wanted to study what does make a relationship work. How can we research healthy relationships and relationships that are thriving and feeling well and doing well? And so they took this very unique approach to finding these foundational principles of what helps couples feel good and successful in their relationships. So the foundational work that they did was the 7 principles for making a marriage work or making a relationship work. And in today's episode, I thought we would dive into what are those 7 principles and how can we apply them in our own relationships to build healthy, happy, thriving relationships. The first one is enhancing our love map. This is getting to know your partner deeply. So this foundational principle is, do I know my partner? Can I answer questions about my partner? What do they like? What do they not like? What is the thing that they're struggling with right now? What's their favorite childhood memory? Can I deeply understand their dreams, their fears, their hopes, their values? Do I know my partner very, very well? And so this is a really important key foundational step to the process of building a healthy relationship is, do I know my partner and do they know me? So by taking time to truly understand each other, we're building that strong foundation and moving forward in knowing our partner so that I'm building that foundational relationship with them. The second principle is nurturing fondness and admiration. I think this principle is one of my favorites because I think it's so important, right? We see, especially in culture today, right, the complaining about our partners, right? Oh, my partner doesn't do this. Oh, I'm constantly having to tell my partner to do that. And I think this step really allows us to move away from complaining about our partner to finding the things that we love about our partner. So this principle emphasizes the importance of expressing appreciation, expressing admiration, expressing affection for our partner. So when I focus on what my partner is doing well, that's going to start to frame how I see my partner. So again, if I'm constantly complaining about how my partner isn't doing what I want them to do, or how this annoying thing that they do is all that I can think about, then that's how I'm going to see my partner, as an annoyance, as someone that I don't really like. And I'm going to start to just see the things that I don't like about my partner. Whereas if I can flip that around and start to focus on the positive interactions and strengthen our bond, strengthen that positive emotional climate, right? If I'm focusing on the positives, then that's what I'm going to focus on in terms of the relationship. I'm going to focus on the things that are going well. And I'm going to notice more positive things about my partner. So this really starts to build this environment that creates positivity, creates affection for my partner. And I think that it's such a key piece. Can I switch that mind frame? Can I reframe how I'm seeing my partner and start to focus on the things that I like? The third principle is turning towards each other. This principle is about how am I engaging with my partner on that day-to-day basis. So it involves responding positively to my partner's bids for connection. So John Gottman talks about bids for connection as, am I engaging with my partner when they ask me to engage with them? So perhaps we're both sitting in a room doing our own thing, and one partner says, hey, look at the bird out the window. How am I going to respond to that? Am I going to ignore them? Am I going to respond negatively, or am I going to respond positively? So there's a couple of different options here, right? I could completely ignore them and not even acknowledge that they've spoken to me. I could respond negatively. Why are you pointing out that bird? That's so stupid. You know that I don't like birds, and kind of push them away with my response. Or I could engage positively. Oh, wow, that's so cool. We haven't seen a bird in the windowsill in a couple of days. Thanks for pointing that out for me. So there's a couple of different options. So when I engage with my partner with those simple moments, those gestures, a shared laugh, a heartfelt conversation, when I'm engaging with my partner, what I'm doing is saying, hey, you matter. I'm here. I'm glad we're doing this together. And I'm not always going to be able to respond to every bid for connection that my partner has, but am I trying to do that more often than not? Am I trying to turn towards my partner and say, hey, we're in this together. I'm glad you're here. This is a really cool journey, which again, really helps nurture that fondness and admiration for one another as well. So this turning towards each other is um, allowing us to say, hey, we're in this together, and I'm glad you're here. So the fourth one is letting our partner influence us. So I think oftentimes we can kind of struggle with this of like, I want to be my own person and I don't want to mesh with my partner. I don't want to solely rely on my partner for my happiness and my well-being. And at the same time, if we're choosing partnership, I also have to recognize that I'm choosing to be in this with someone. And so I want to let my partner have influence on me. I want my partner to be someone that I look towards for advice or support, and vice versa, right? I want to be that for my partner as well. So sharing the power of decision making, sharing the ability to say, hey, I'm going to take the lead on this, or maybe my partner's going to take the lead on something else. So sharing power and sharing decision making is crucial for a healthy relationship. By opening up to my partner's perspective, I can start to create a sense of equality in the relationship. Again, we're in this together. You're influencing me. I'm influencing you. I'm letting you take the lead sometimes. I'm going to take the lead sometimes. And maybe it's not completely equal all of the time, but there's a shared sense of we're doing this together. And one partner's not always leading and the other one always following. There's more of a balance to it. So I think that letting my partner be involved in how I'm showing up is really, really important for, again, feeling like we're in this together. There's a reason I'm choosing to stay in this relationship with you. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Confessions of a Counselor podcast is available anywhere you like to listen to your podcasts on Apple and Android. New episodes are released every Friday. If you enjoyed today's episode, please join the conversation. Leave a review or subscribe to the podcast hosted on Spotify. You can find all these details on janicelyons.com. Until next time, take care.